you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Chilling out, ladies and gentlemen. We got the world famous DJ Chicago on
Mike,
Conversations.
what's going on?
I'm good. How you been, my brother?
I'm good, man. Shoot in the whip, still making moves. Still making moves, man. Even on my day off. When I don't got my son, I'm making moves.
Okay, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right,
So
let's
I hope you don't mind me driving and doing this at the same time.
hey, that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes sometimes.
You know, my other guy, Arrogant, who I do a lot of shows with, it's his
Mm-hmm.
50th birthday party this weekend, so I had to go out here to this spot and you know, check out the spot for him, make sure his 50 is all right. 50th is the milestone. I ain't there yet, but it's a milestone, so I got to make sure his party gonna be right.
Where's the party gonna be at?
It's Chicoye. I've never been here before, but it's I don't know if it's Warrensville Heights or whatever, but anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's out here, man. We're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have a great time.
That's
What's
what's
going
up.
on with you?
Oh man, I'm just trying to do this thing, make it happen, man.
Oh, I know. I see. What's that? A Green Bay thing behind you? Oh, I got my Bears joint on. You
Yeah,
got the
y'all
upper.
got.
You got the upper hand right now, though, man. But when Aaron Rodgers leaves, it's over.
Well, hopefully, Jordan Love can carry the torch properly.
Well, after the last game I saw, whew, okay. All
Small
right.
sample size. Small sample size.
Yeah. I hear you.
All right, now
Man,
you're originally from Chicago, right?
I am. But I've been in Cleveland. I've been in Cleveland for about 20 years. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been here for a while. You know what I mean? I go back home every now and then. You know, just to hang out and kick it. You know what I mean? Get some good food, see some of my family, things
Right.
like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't DJ too much in Chicago no more, man. It's different.
Yeah.
It's
So
different.
tell me this: how was life growing up in Chicago for you as a youth?
Well, you know, it's crazy because I got to see two sides of life in Chicago. You know what I mean? It was one of those deals where I was born into middle class. You know what I mean? We had money, so I ain't know no different. You know what I
Right.
mean? But you know, back in the day when your parents have issues and things like that, we ain't never know about it. You know what I mean? Like they ain't never put it out there to where we knew they had issues. And
Right.
so, you know, my mom and my dad ended up splitting, and you know, the income changed. So that upper middle class money wasn't there no more. I was with my mom. My mom was a school teacher. You know, even
Okay.
to this day, school teachers don't make no money right now. So
Right.
imagine how it was back in the day when I was a kid. So we ended up having to move to projects, which is like the
Mm-hmm.
Robert Taylor homes. So most people know about Cabrini Green. They don't
Right.
know about Robert Taylor homes. When you look, there's a list of projects, like the worst projects in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Cabrini Green is one. They had Marcy in New York 2, and Robert Taylor Homes is 3. That gives
Okay.
you an idea. So I had to go from being a sheltered, you know what I mean, kid to the hood shit, like quick. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, but it prepared me for life. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
prepared me for life because, you know what I mean, I think that street side is still with me to this day. You know,
Okay.
I learned how to talk to people and work deals out and things like that with the side with the middle class side. But I had to learn that street side too, and that I learned that one quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's rough. It's rough. So when people in Cleveland be like, "Oh man, Cleveland is bad and this and that, whatever," I'm like, man, y'all don't know what bad is. You know,
Yeah.
they say Canton is bad. It's bad for the size of the town. But go to Chicago. hang out for about a week or two. You gonna think, you know, Canton, Cleveland is peaches and roses. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was tough. It was tough. But, you know, I got my start. I think had I not had that experience in the projects in Chicago, I would have never got my start as DJing. That's when I really got into DJing.
Okay.
When I was in the projects, because you got 16 floors, 144 apartments in each building, and there's like a lot of those buildings.
Right.
So on any given weekend, it's probably about 5 or 6 floors with house parties with DJs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I would listen to the mix show in Chicago. There's a radio station called WBMX, and they had a crew called the Hot Mix 5. I guess it could be like the equivalent to how Club Style was here in Cleveland.
Okay.
A crew called the Hot Mix 5, and these guys, this is house music though. It wasn't hip hop. But they have Saturday nights on fire on BMX. You know, so that's how I got into music, and then I started sneaking out of the house and going to house parties. And my mom would come up in her little, you know, her rollers and all that other stuff. Snatch me up out of there though. Cause I was
what you doing up in here?
Man, I was so fascinated with the DJs. You know what I mean? I would sit there and watch. So nobody ever actually taught me how to DJ. I just speak out and would learn by watching. And these guys was like, they was phenomenal. You know, they was phenomenal. So, and it made an impact on me. And I seen the way they moved the crowd, and I was like, man, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
So that's who kind of got that fire going for you. Yeah,
man. Yeah, I can remember it just like it was yesterday. Like I said, my mom snatched me the fuck up out of them apartments, man. You know, but you know what? At that age, I was totally oblivious of the violence in Chicago. You know what I mean? I think my mom was she's a praying lady.
Right.
And people love my mom in the process because she sold candy, and they just, you know, they love my mama. And so for me, at that age, I had a bubble around me. I was good at sports. I was playing with the big boys. They would come and get me, and these are gangbangers and gangsters, and they would be from different gangs. But they'd be like, Miss Jackson, you know what I mean? We coming to get your son. You know, we need somebody to hoop with us. Boom, boom, boom. We got you. Don't worry about it. And it was one of those things where, again, when you have all that shelter around you, you don't know. The only thing I can say that I kind of was exposed to was the killing and the shootings. Every day somebody would get shot. Every day, you know, every other day somebody get killed in that area. But when you do it for so long, when you're there for so long, you think it's normal.
Yeah, so it kind of numbed you a little bit to it.
Yeah, I thought it was normal. I was like, all right, you know, somebody else got shot, somebody else got killed. It is what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you get older, you start realizing that, oh, man, it's something not normal about this, though. But that situation, though, in the Robert Taylor homes, man, it's just like, man, it taught me about life, and to this day, you know, to think about it, so many things that's instilled in my brain right now. How you move. I move the same way in Cleveland. It's not that I think about it. It's like it's instilled in my brain.
Yeah, just second nature for you.
Yeah, my head is on the swivel, and a lot of times, and I talk to, you know, a lot of my Caucasian friends and friends of different races. It's like they don't understand our stress level, because we're taught at a young age to keep our head on the swivel. We gotta, as black men, gotta watch everybody. We gotta watch our own. We gotta watch white people, Chinese people, black people. Sometimes we gotta watch our women. And so the minute we walk out of that door, our head is on the swivel, and we don't realize how much stress that is. And I learned that in Chicago, as far as, like, you know, protecting myself and keep my head on swivel and things like that. So I was I was blessed to be able to make it out of projects. And I was blessed to learn how it was to be like middle class and learn how to talk and speak and things like that. So, you know, I got a lot of knowledge out of living in Chicago. A lot. You know.
So do you think you just embodied a lot of that stress? You just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think I learned how to deflect it.
Okay.
And I deflected through music. You know, I deflected through music. It's just like, you know, anytime I put those headphones on, I'm in the club, I don't pay no attention to what's going on outside. You know what I mean? I'm a different person when it comes to this music thing. So, and then when I'm not around music, I'm around my son, which makes it, you know what I mean? I have so much fun with my son, and I'm making sure he's good. So, you know, some people, you know, you deal with it in different ways.
Right.
For me, may need therapy. I think music and my son is therapy. My son doesn't even know how much of a blessing he is to me because I think totally different because he's here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I see you interact with your son a lot, and it's like you're a big kid.
Man, listen, listen. It is so. It's funny because it's like, you ever see a movie or something like that where the character is an older guy, but then it takes them back to their younger years?
Yeah.
Watching my son right now is my younger years. He's so competitive. Like, he don't like to lose. He'll yell and scream. He'll, you know, you can't throw that PlayStation 5 controller, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to me. It's so much fun because I used to be DJ Chicago 24 hours a day. I'm only DJ Chicago when I'm at work. I'm Willie Jackson when I take them headphones off and I play that last song, and I'm switched to dad mode. And the fact that he don't care. You know what I mean? Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
The fact that he don't care, you know, about what I do. I just did a concert with Moan out of town 2 weeks ago. I just did a concert with Genuine last week. My son don't care about that, and it's great to have that person around you.
Right.
It brings you, you know, I've never had like a super duper ego, unless I absolutely had to. But you know what I mean? It brings everything in perspective when your son is right there. And he's like, I don't care about DJ Chicago. You know what I mean? He hear my music and things like that, and he knows that he's like that. You know, that's pretty nice and things like that. But it's like, shoot, when it's time to be dad, I gotta be dad.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Because our kids need their fathers, and I love your interaction. I'm like, these cats is silly with it.
Oh my God, yeah, you just don't know. And he's a throwback kid though. He's like one of them kids that play all the old games, and then you know how we used to. We make up games. When there ain't no games, we make up a game.
Yeah,
and he loves
to find something to do.
Right. Like I said, he got all the gadgets because he's a gamer at nature, and me too. He's got every game of Master, the PlayStation 5, the Oculus, all this other stuff. He's got all of this stuff, but he still wants to play those games, those games where we're just one-on-one competition, and he's 10. You know what I mean? But he's been competing with me since he was like 4 or 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old, we were playing games. You know, he's had a phone since he's like 4. He's like really responsible, so I got him a nice phone and all that. We've been playing games on his phone since he was 4 years old. So he's been, competitive then. But I see, like, everything in him, it was me. You know what I mean? He don't want to get into the music because he's a brain. My son's kind of a nerd. He don't want to know about the music. He wants to know how everything works.
Oh, okay.
If you learn how everything works and can build on that, you can make way more money than what I'm making, easily. So I'll be shopping with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
when was it that you finally did your first DJ gig that made everything take off for you?
Um, my mama let me have a house party. My mama let me have a house party, and that's what it was. Like today, technology is so easy. Music is so easy to get.
Yeah.
Right there, they could be a DJ. I was in the house tearing my mama's component sets and all that shit, learning how to DJ. Yeah, you remember those, right? So I felt like I put in the work. So now let's see how, I can make this thing happen. Whatever. I've listened to some of the best DJs in the world. A lot of the DJs I listened to back in the day are still DJing. They're 60 years old plus, and they're DJing around the world. You know what I mean? And so I said, let me put it to a test. And I asked my mama, can I have a house party? You know what I mean? And she let me, shockingly. My mama's a very religious lady.
Okay.
Shockingly, she let me have a house party. And when I had it, the house party was it was jumping. I was like, this is it right here. So that's what I knew right then. I was like, okay, I got it. Most DJs, like I said, they don't care. Like, I give you a prime example. Today, this the guy's he been wanting me to help him, teach him how to DJ, boom, 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 whatever. And he's never DJed before. But he called my phone today because he knows, the place I just left, I got this party to do Friday. He see me promoting it. Chicago, can I come and fill in for you? I'm like, nah. I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? It's like one of them things where he wants to just jump out the gym right away, as opposed to actually putting in the work,
right,
and earning that. And so it's a different time now, but I had to make sure I was on point. I didn't want to look like no fool. This was important to me.
Yeah, because that first impression is everything.
Man, I did my first house party, and I was charging. Tell you what I was charging. This when you had the real food stamps. Like, you could bring food stamps. I used to love the Little Debbie Swiss cake. If you bring a box of those, you win. Box of Little Debbie's. You got into this party. And to this day, people was like, those was the best parties.
Yeah.
Those were the best parties. And then when I was younger, you know what I mean, a little bit younger, my mom moved to Ohio. So I was down in that area. I was down in Orville, Worcester, in that area. So it really started taking off because my cousin was rappers. That's when I had to learn how to learn hip hop.
Oh, okay. So you really didn't get fully exposed to hip hop till you got to Ohio.
I got to Ohio. Yep. And so it was all hip hop, and I had to learn that. But you know what? What made it easy for me is because I was spinning off of house music, 110 beats, 120 beats per minute. Right. When you get to hip hop, it was like at that time you're looking at 80, 90. You may find some 100 beats per minute, but it was never as fast as house music. So it slowed everything down. It's like a quarterback it's like a rookie quarterback getting in the league, and then after so long, it slows down.
Right.
That's what happened with me when I moved to Ohio. It was like the hip hop was slow. They wasn't even really pumping house music in Ohio.
Right. Yeah.
So I moved down in that area, and the house parties continued. You know what I mean? I still had the Little Debbie joint parties, and at that time though I stepped it up. Bartles and James and Zimas, all that. I'm like, yeah, bring those, man. We gonna party.
Man.
It was so much fun learning this thing. It never gets old for me. I think what makes it old for me is the business aspect. That makes it old. You have a great time. Like for me, once I put on my headphones, I'm rolling, whatever. But a lot of times it's just the business part that kind of like, makes you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to deal with this business part, but
people want to underpay you. Don't really fully appreciate what you bring to their venues and whatnot.
Well, I've learned that the only way you bring your value up is if you do your own thing. Do your own thing. Be able to promote your own events. Blow your events up. People don't call my phone, and you know they know they're spending money. They call my phone,
Right.
but they know they're gonna see results. They know I'm gonna blow it up. They know their party's gonna jump. They're gonna see results. You know.
Now, how? Go ahead.
Yeah, and so that's what I try to tell a lot of DJs. You know, a lot of DJs are always like, well, they don't want to pay the money or whatever. I mean, that's because they don't feel like you're worth it. They feel like they can get anybody to do what you do. And when you stand out, when you stand out to them, that's when you're going to make your money.
Yes, no doubt. Now, how did you go from Orville to Cleveland?
Well, I met this girl.
Met this girl from around the way.
Right. That's basically what it was. She lived in Cleveland. Boom. You know what I mean? And then what it was like, okay, I had this interview with 93 FM. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I had went to school for radio and TV. I was back and forth from here in Chicago. But I had a degree in radio and TV. I went to Iowa State. So I'm like, okay, cool, boom. I'm going to go out here to Cleveland, try to get a job, whatever. But, you know, in this business, it's you got to know somebody. It don't even matter about degrees. If you hot in these streets or whatever, they'll find you and teach you everything that you went to school for. You know what I mean? Because it's about popularity. So that's what happened. I ended up moving here, trying to apply to get in 93. They didn't hire me. You know what I mean? They ain't know who I was. It was a family. It was locally owned at that time. It wasn't corporate like it is now. So that's how I ended up moving here, female.
Wow. Then you just start turning up the whole club scene in Cleveland.
At that time, I've learned everything I thought I needed to learn. I started off doing this hole-in-the-wall spot, like on the west side of Cleveland, a spot called Mama Says. It was like I was learning at the time, not how to DJ, but learning the music, hip-hop and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I was killing it. So a lot of people started coming over there. They was like, I don't know who this DJ is, but he's killing it over here. You know what I mean? And so it was the bartender up there. She was like, they about to open up this spot called the Millennium. This is downtown. This is a staple in Cleveland. The Millennium holds 1,500 people. And she was like, I know the manager, make a tape. That gives you an idea how far back it was. Make a tape. All right, I'm going to make a tape. So I made a tape. He never listened to it. So what happened was somebody broke into his van and stole every tape he had except my tape. So he was forced to listen to my shit. So when he listened to it, he was like, oh, he called old girl by like, look, I got to have him down there. You know, because at the time, I was doing like ones and twos. I had never tracked the mixtape or anything like that. It was straight mixing. He's like, oh, I got to have him down there. And that, you know, everything came full circle because when he called me and I got in there, that's when the name started really bubbling in the streets. I had made a mixtape. The first one did okay. People didn't know my name. This was before the Millennium. The second one, it just took It just took off. Mm-hmm. So now at that point, the radio station, they took notice. They like, who is this guy? No, it was a couple guys that had a mix show. I had EPMD was in the Millennium that night. So I did a mix. I was playing one of my mixtapes earlier, and they came in, listened to one of my mixes, and they was like, and one of their main guys, probably the hottest dude in their crew, left the crew. He had the big head, and I'm that nigga, whatever. Left the crew. So I came in and took over. You know what I mean? It wasn't a takeover thing, but I came in and just influenced him and got my thing going or whatever. Yeah. And that's when it really took off. So I ended up being on a radio station, not hired through the radio station, but doing mixes with those guys.
Okay, I see. I see.
When it came back around, then the radio station's like, well, we need to hire you. That's how I got in the radio station. It was like a back end thing. It wasn't no applying. It was just like I put in the work. They see the numbers go up. We got to hire this guy.
Yeah, it was strictly based off your talent.
Yeah. My, shout out to my guy Big Jew, Freebie Smalls. They kind of put me in the game with the radio station. Dwight Chilius for the Millennium, Tony T, who didn't listen to my shit. had no choice but to listen to my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's about timing. You know what I mean? You could be great at what you do, but when that timing hits you, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
I was ready because I spent a year learning the music at the smaller spot. Every time somebody requests a song and I ain't have it, I took note. Boom, boom, boom. Next time they came through, guess what? I had it. And at that time, I was buying records. I got into a record pool here, and then once I got to the radio station, they was just sending me music. Like the UPS guy was at my house 5-6 times a day, dropping music off from the labels. It was great. It was good. I had so much music in my attic, man. I was giving away music. It was like I can't take it no more. I would have 10 copies of shit.
Carrying on them damn crates.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah, man.
Now, when did your mixtapes really start taking off for you? Cause I noticed you go real hard with them.
It took off, like I said, when I did my second one. At that time, I was at the Millennium, and I was with the radio station. And I did this mixtape called Payback 2. Volume 1 was cool. Payback 2, what I would do is I would do these intros to my mixtape. And so the record stores would play the intros, and the intros would actually sell the whole mixtape. Like, Cass was like, oh, shit, who is this dude? You know what I mean? And so it took off. And to this day, people still talk about that mixtape. Like, Payback 2, it had a Heineken cover. And then on the inside of the cover, it was me and my daughter. My daughter, she's 27 years old. It was me and my daughter, and she was a baby. Mm-hmm. We was on the back cover. People still talk about that one. So, and then, at the time, I had went and introduced myself to all the DJs in Cleveland. I went to every spot that they was at, trying to learn things, trying to, network, things like that. And my guy, Coach East, you know what I mean? You couldn't get to Coach East at the time, though. He had the girlfriend. She was the girlfriend / bodyguard. She would let you get to him, this and that, whatever. But when I started making noise in the streets, he hit me up. At that time, he was the biggest mixtape DJ, around. He had a distribution deal. He had what nobody else had, the distribution deal. So he was like, yo, I need you to join the team. So I went to his house and shit. And this nigga, the mailman guy came through. Shit. He opened it up, checks, 10,000, 5,000. 3,000. These are all mixtapes. Like boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh shit. The more he opened, the more I was like, yeah, I gotta fuck with him. So I signed with him. He was like, listen, just do the mixes. I'm gonna finance it all. You're gonna get X amount of money, boom, boom, boom. But your mixtape's gonna be across the world. So I'll be damned if I wasn't in Vegas one time and I was with the FY, it was Fam Goodies and all that stuff back then. And I would go there, and my mixtapes was with everybody else's shit. You know what I mean? AZ, all that. My mixtapes was there. My people in Germany was like, yo, your mixtape's out here. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. And so it really took off to that point where I was, like, killing the game with mixtapes. And I was putting out mixtapes, twice a month. Boom, 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 back to back. And I'm grateful, man, because even to this day with my website, those same people are still buying my mixtapes. When I put out a mixtape, they are front and center buying my mixtape. So I got to thank everybody that still, rock with me or whatever. You know what I mean? I put in the work. I make sure they get classics and things like that. And I thank them because, without them, you know what I mean? People wouldn't be out there feeling me like that.
Yeah, ain't nothing better than a loyal fan base, man.
Man, I love it. I love it. The thing about it is especially now. People work so hard for their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to make sure that if you put a product out there, that it's something that they ain't going to never forget. Like, people to this day, like, I literally don't know what's on what mixtape. All my mixtapes, I don't remember. People come up to me like, oh, man, Bring the Heat Volume 7, Track 7. What was that song? That was, you know what I mean? People literally say that. Like, last night when I was on the Club Style show, somebody came up to me and was like, it was one of my mixtapes I did with Joel Santana. Mm-hmm. And he remembered the song, and he was like, it was the last track, and it was like, and I don't remember. A loyal fan remembers all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's crazy. But, you know what I mean? Again, I love it. And, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that rock with me, man. I definitely appreciate them.
What's the website?
The website is djchicagomusic.com. www.djchicagomusic, spelled regular, music.com. You can go on there, and it's crazy. You could buy a flash drive with a bunch of my joints on there, or you could just download a joint. I had to transition because ain't nobody buying CDs. So It's like, oh, it's beautiful because you can download it in like 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. Put your info in there, boom, download it, and you got whatever everybody else has got that quick. You know, and I think that, you know, as a DJ, you got to roll with technology. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody buying CDs. I don't even press up CDs no more. You know?
One very unique thing I've seen you do, the events you have, like the party boats and stuff like that. Where'd you get that idea from?
You know what? It started off with my dude got with the boat rides, my dude had what do you call it? The party bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got a party bus. He was excited. Chicago, let's do some things or whatever. And I had never did no party bus. I'm like, all right, cool. I did events before, not that. But only hold like 20 people. So I'm like, yo, let's go to Puddin' Bay. He was like, all right. So I got online and I was like, yo, hey, who want to go to Puddin' Bay? This is how much it's going to cost. It was like 100 and some people wanted to go. We only hold 20 some people. Took the bus out there. We had a great time. At that point, I was like, you know what? I'm about to take a charter bus out there. Next time around, took a charter bus, packed it out, boom. Found out they had a boat out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out about that boat. I was like, it's all she wrote. I asked them how much that boat was, whatever the case may be. They gave me a great deal. Then I said, how many people, you know, can it fit? So I'm like, damn. I know I'm going to get some Sandusky people out there because that's where the boat ride is at, the Good Times 3.
Right.
But I want people in my area to be able to, you know, participate. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start getting charter buses. We're going to make this thing happen. And the first one we did, it sold out so fast. And then from that point on, it was just like, now I got to do 2 a year, easily. 2 a year. So, you know, it's fun. It gives people something totally different to do. And a lot of people don't like to go out no more. But some people just go out for events. That's an event. And they go out, they have a great time. They get to hit the island for a few hours. I supply the drinks on the bus, the food on the boat. You know what I mean? And the last one I did, I took a bus from Canton. I appreciate everybody from Canton that jumped on because they had a great time. I seen the video of them chugging all that liquor out of them, put on that bus and all that, and they had fun. It was something totally different. Even with Cleveland, you know, everybody's doing the same thing. The white parties, the black parties, the purple and blue parties, whatever the case may be, people want something totally different. So I kind of looked up on the boat rides because of the party bus, but then, you know, like evolution, everything gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's where I'm at to this day. I already got it booked for this year, Labor Day, Saturday, and Memorial Saturday. Already booked for next year. Ready to go.
Wow.
You got to go.
I definitely do.
Hey, this is documented. You got to go.
Yeah. And we did what we got to do is get a Hall of Fame party for Hall of Fame weekend, man.
Man, we got to find a spot down in your area, though.
I know, you know, folks be acting funny, but we ain't even gonna go into that. But it seems like venues gonna start.
Off air, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
talk about it. We'll find something though, because Canton people, I got a fan base in Canton for doing things down there, so they've been wanting me to come down there. My phone been ringing. Just got to find the spot.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my fan base from chicks and all of that.
Ooh, yeah, you went back with that. Now you had alluded to earlier, like a lot of guys are DJing now because of the technology.
Right.
What advice would you have for some of these up and coming DJs that's really trying to do their thing right now?
I would say take advice from the older guys that want to help you. Disregard to the older guys that's always on that back in my day shit. Like for me, the reason why I'm able to connect with younger DJs is because I don't never preach to them.
Right.
I don't never, you know what I mean? If you need some knowledge, call my phone. You know what I mean? You need me to help you learn some shit, come through. And I don't never charge guys. And so for me, it's just like, you know, learn from the ones that want to teach you, disregard from the ones that want to put you down. Because everybody, like for me, ain't nobody bringing a whole bunch of crates of records. You know, turntables, you know, some people got turntables, some people don't. I mean, you can't get mad at a DJ if he's using the sync button. You can't get mad at a DJ because he's using the controller. This is what they know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so for the younger guys, it's like, man, shoot, don't be discouraged about you know, what these other DJs say, man. Do you. Do what feels comfortable to you. Because at the end of the day, none of them going to hire you. You know what I mean? Not one DJ going to hire you for an event.
Yeah.
And the people that's partying don't care what you partying with, as long as you got them rocking. You can have a good set and 8-track.
Yeah.
If you got them rocking, you got them rocking. You ain't got to mix one. I went to a spot the other day, older spot. The DJ was playing CDs. He wasn't mixing, but he was playing the right joints, and they was rocking. That's what it's about. Make your money.
That's the end game.
Yeah, make your money.
Where do you see DJing 10 years from now?
You know what? The thing about it, the one thing I do know is a lot of the younger DJs want to take it back to the turntables. Now, we're not going back to records because it's really hard to get right now.
Right.
But Serato and things like that, they want turntables. You know what I mean? I try to tell them don't be intimidated by turntables. Don't be intimidated. The one thing they want to do is they want to know how to scratch first. I'm like, nah, man. Because when I started, I didn't know how to scratch. People look at me like, you killing it on the scratcher thing. I didn't know how to scratch because house music, you ain't scratch. You just blended the songs, boom, boom, boom. I learned how to scratch when I moved to Ohio.
Mm.
I mean, so, you know what I mean? Start off with mixing, blending, boom, boom, boom. Then you start, you know, elevating your game and things like that. But I do think that it's going back. It's almost like music now. A lot of the music now is getting lyrical again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's getting lyrical. So everything comes back around. Even this DJing thing is coming back around right now. So I just want to be able to help as many DJs as I can learn turntablism and things like that or whatever. If you want to do a controller, that's fine. You know what I mean? But if you want to learn turntablism and things like that, I can teach you that too.
That's what's up. Who's your top 5 DJs all time?
Influences or skill wise?
That you just like, your favorites.
So my favorite, well, I say this. I'm gonna give you more than 5. I ain't gonna say like I would say the whole Hot Mix 5 in Chicago because they influenced me. Farley and like all those guys from Chicago influenced me, and these guys are still killing it to this day. Like these guys got like Obama named streets after them in Chicago. That's how big they are.
Mm.
But then when you come to the technical side, of course you got to throw out Jazzy Jeff. You know, that song, The Magnificent Jazzy Jeff, was like, oh, I'm like, that shit was like amazing. So Jazzy Jeff, DJ Scratch is the guy. DJ Craze, if y'all don't know who DJ Craze is, DJ Craze is not a club DJ. He's just skill-wise. He won the DMC battle so many times. He's like, you know what? I'm done. Like, he's that good.
Wow.
DJ Craze, let's see. DJ Miz. You remember Fresco and Miz?
Yeah.
DJ Miz was dope. Cash Money was that guy. You know what I mean? I like guys with skills. Like the Chicago guys was the guys that got me into it. But the guys after that are the skillful guys. You know what I mean? The guys that kind of paved the way and that type of thing. You know what I mean? And then I gave a shout out to Coach East because that guy was like even to this day, he was a monster business-wise. Like, he was way ahead of his goddamn time when it came to that. You know what I mean? I remember Aaliyah died. He was like, I need you to make me a mixtape, Aaliyah mixtape. You know what I mean? I didn't put my name on it. He didn't put his name on it. It just was Aaliyah. And he was like, I'm gonna give you 4 bands. You know what I mean? Yeah. 4 bands in 01 or whatever she died or whatever. That was a lot. Pac, I need Pac mixtape. You know what I mean? And then he killed the game. Whatever he paid me, he made 100 times over. Like, so.
I don't think people realize how important and how influential Coach Cheese, DJ Coach Cheese has been, especially for Northeast Ohio, man, because they need to do more to honor that dude, man. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, when I sat there, man, he was just totally he was totally way ahead of the game when it came to this mixtape thing and the marketing thing. And like I said, you know what I mean, you see your first mixtape, you out in Vegas, you just go to kick it. You out in Vegas, go in this store and see if my stuff's in here. And you see your mixtapes in there and people actually buying it. You know what I mean? Like when I went in and I saw it, and they don't never put like one CD on there, on the shelf. So I went out there and I seen like 2 or 3 of my mixtapes just sitting there. I'm like, people are buying this shit. And I didn't realize how many people was actually buying it until I would see the numbers. And then when I put on my website, it tells me every place that somebody's bought a mixtape from. Africa, people was buying my mixtape. They was everywhere. I was like, wow. And now that I'm on the World Wide Web. Yeah. Man, it's even easier. So he put me on to a lot of shit. I think people don't realize like the influence he had on the mixtape game, and people don't realize how much money he made off of this shit. Yeah. Because if I was making what I was making, I say this, I was making $2 off each CD. At the time, I was putting them in the stores, but it was locally. I was making $10. So I'm like, $2, $10. I was like, I don't know about that. But then when I got that first check, you know what I mean? But then at the time when I was making 10, I was financing everything. Yeah. All I had to do was make the mixtape. So, when I got to deal with him, when I got that first check, I bought a truck. With the first check, went out there with the first check, bought the truck. Boom. I ain't no payments, no nothing. So that's how huge Coach Cheese was, man. It was just like he was just so like in tune to this. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was great having that distribution there. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Doing everything I do and then get a check. And then he put my guy Big Jew on. He put my guy Benny Velez on. Benny Velez was doing the Latino joints or whatever. Benny Velez was doing cassettes though. He was like Latinos had to catch up. He was doing cassettes, but we had the CDs, and it was just so much fun. Collecting those checks and things like that. It was great. It was great. I got to actually DJ when we was at the same spot because Coach Cheese was at the Millennium too. You know what I mean? So I got to watch Coach Cheese, and Coach Cheese was one of those guys. Like in Chicago, when you DJ, you didn't really talk much when you playing house music. You just played the music. You rock. You know what I mean? People was feeling the music. Yeah. Here you had to talk more. And I'm telling you, Coach Cheese would rock out. He would do his thing. But he was the only guy. He was the first guy that would play the most bullshit song and have everybody thinking that shit was the hottest shit in there. I'd be like, damn, how you get this shit off? And he would get it off because he was so cold with cicadas. It was cold. Yeah, he was cold with it. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot from a lot of the DJs here in Cleveland because I would go to every spot and take bits and pieces. You know what I mean? And then I would just incorporate my own shit with it and then go from there.
Right.
Now the scratching thing, it just took a lot of time and a lot of practice. You know, I didn't publicly scratch until I really knew how to scratch.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, you know what I mean? I don't want to do nothing mediocre. And the competitiveness, you know, we talked about it earlier, the competitiveness for me, you know what I mean, from playing sports and like that, I'm like, I don't want to be average.
Right. Because anybody can do average. Anybody can be mediocre.
Yeah, and then people talk about, you know, how my blends, man, how you come up with that? A lot of people don't even know I played drums. I played drums. I was in a church playing drums. People don't know that. People don't know. Shout out to Bill Black. Hey, what up? Yeah, people didn't know that I played drums for a church group. I was traveling. Wow. You know what I mean? I think I have a lot of influence in my family. My mom was in the choir, things like that. I went to Marvin Yancey Church in Chicago, and he was married to Natalie Cole at the time. So she would come to the church and all that. So it was, you know, church was fun because of the music. Maybe I ain't listened to the message as much as a kid, but I would listen to the music. And so, you know, the drums and the DJ and all of that kind of like, you know, it helped out. Like some of the best DJs are producers, you know, and vice versa. You know.
And you see a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
DJ Double O, what's happening?
Yeah, what's up, Double O?
Canton in the building. No Bill Black, what up? What up? I need to be on a radio station somewhere with you, Bill. What's happening? I got that radio bug again, man. I got time.
Make it happen. No doubt, Double man. Go ahead.
I need some of those mixtapes, Double O. I see you be blowing them up down there in Canton.
It's time for you to go ahead and start giving distribution deals.
Man, you know what? The best distribution is your own website.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to build your name, get your website on, and make 100% of your money. Like, I wake up every day to somebody buying my stuff. You know what I mean? So it's great to wake up and make money off stuff you already got.
Yeah.
Even my old mixtapes are selling like they brand new.
That's what's up. Just keep pushing it. Man, I just want to thank you for your time, though, man. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, man, anytime. I was wondering when I was going to get on the legendary Al Mecca show. I was wondering. I'm like, man, I must have fell off.
No, man, not at all. Not at all. But we definitely going to link, man, and we're going to do some business. I'm looking forward to a lot of good energy this year, and we're going to make some things happen, my brother.
Yeah, I'm already planning a lot of things for 2022, and one of the things that I definitely want to do is do some things down in that area. So, you know, I got family down there. I still got a lot of people that kick it with me down in the Canton area, in Stark County, Summit County, Wayne County, in that area. Even down in New Philly and all of that, they looking for me to do some things down there. I was in Ashland, and they came in there deep. Bone Thugs and Harmony, me, Brains Davis, aka MC Brains, was there. Like we had Ashland had a great time. And I tell these artists and DJs all the time, you know, those smaller towns, they appreciate you more. I do a lot of stuff in bigger cities, but the smaller towns, they remember everything. They appreciate you more. So I definitely want to do some more things down in the Canton area. Got to be grown, because I heard they down there acting a fool down there. So we gonna do some grown things down there. You know what I mean?
No doubt. All right, man. We're gonna let you get back into your night, man. Once again, I want to thank you for your time, man. Look forward to chopping up with you again.
For sure, man. Anytime.
All right, my brother. Peace.
All right, peace out.